Assalamu alaikum, y'all. I'm Renee,
E.
and this is Muhammad Reviews. So last night we went and saw The Hate You Give, based on the young adult novel by Angie
Number one
Thomas.
bestseller.
And what were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts were the little brother named Khalil in the movie. His name is Algie Smith, I believe. He did an excellent job portraying a high school young man struggling with life and situations on top of racism in America and coupling that with a young lady who was also struggling with an identity crisis growing up in her family, and they worked well together. So they really, to me, did a good job portraying young adolescents dealing with the troubles of adolescency and racism.
So my uh, initial thoughts are along the same lines. It was a solid cast. Like I loved Mandela, I loved Khalil, Algie Smith, I loved Regina Hall. Issa was awesome. Loved the cast. It solid cast. Great acting from everybody. Even like the supporting cast, the guy that played Chris, her friends, everybody did a great job.
I think so too. I thought it did well by showing a good family structure, by the father being in the household and the mother not always arguing with the father. They did a very good job in portraying a family structure.
So, who was your favorite character?
My favorite character was the little brother by the name of Seven in the movie, which was Star's brother. Star's name, by the way, is Amandla
Stenberg?
Stenberg, we believe. Anyway, the little brother named Seven to me did a very good role, played a very good role in the supporting acting cast. Good job, Seven.
For me, it probably is going to be Star, played by Amandla. I knew the movie was going to be good. Like, I love Amandla. I really do. Everything I've seen her in, she's been awesome. But like I said, I love Issa too. I love Seven. So I don't know. The cast was a really good cast.
Now, let's critique it a little bit. Let's talk about some of the subliminal messaging in the movie.
Well, before we do that, because I think that's going to be based on why we think that. So before we even get off into that, how many stars are you giving the movie?
If we are basing this on a 4-point star system,
Five
star
stars.
system, I'm going to give this a 3.5, 4 rating on this movie.
Okay, so you said 3.5, 4. I am going to give it 5 with some caveats because I can give it 5 as far as everything I just said, the acting, the cast. I thought it was written really well, but now we're going to get into some why. So why were you only giving it like 3.5, 4?
I say that because the plot was a typical plot that has been seen in several movies where you have a struggling family up against a drug dealer in the community, which no one wants to talk about, the struggling father fighting against the pull of the street and the justice system. So I think the writing is what made me give it a 3.5, 4. I think the writing could have been a little bit better. It was a typical plot.
See, from a writer's aspect, I think it was really well written. And that's why I'm willing to give it 5 stars. But at the end of the day, would I see it again? No. Will I ever buy it? Probably not. I'm going to finish the book, but it's only getting the 5 stars based on the cast and the writing. Because overall, if it was not that great cast, if it wasn't that great writing, I would be giving this movie probably a 1. And that's based on the fact that I really believe it's propaganda. They were very careful not to say Black Lives Matter. They were very careful not to mention any of the other movements, but it was very much propaganda because instead of focusing on Khalil being murdered, we started focusing on this gang member. We started focusing on black crime. There was a lot of focus taken away from the fact that this little boy was murdered. Like this little girl was going through the emotions of seeing her friend murdered, and then we would flash back to her other friend being murdered, things like that. So I, again, 5 stars for the writing and the cast, but everything else, it probably get a 1 for me.
Casting was very well picked and very well placed for your emotional content. We had a lot of light skin, dark skin. Light skin played the role of the non-threatening character. The dark skin characters played the role of the attitudey, aggressive characters. So knowing the subliminal messages put in this movie is another reason I give it a 3.5, 4.
Yes. So other than that, I would say it is worth seeing. It was worth the money.
I want to say also, take your children with you and have them review it, and it can open a discussion about racism in America that we all deal with every day.
So, like I said, it's definitely worth the money. I probably, unless one of our children want to go see it again, I probably won't.
So does this complete our review?
Right. And I think that's it.
3.5, 4 stars from me.
5 for me.
I'm E. Peace out.
And I'm Renee, and this is Muhammad Reviews.